The world is a very interesting place with all of the different cultures that inhabit it. They all have their own unique set of beliefs, rituals, customs, holidays, music, literature, lots of different things. The point is that humankind is very diverse. And with that diversity, it's natural to shun it, think it's weird, or not accept it. But we need to be more accepting and welcoming towards these things and learn about them so that we can enrich our lives by seeing how people across the globe live their lives differently than we do. And today I'll be telling you about an Indian birth ritual, and that many of you may find very bizarre.
Marty! Oh, gotta go.
So, flying on an airplane is an awful thing. It's very uncomfortable. It just is not a fun experience. It's very crowded. They pack as many people together like sardines, and seats are pressed up against the dude in front of you who tries to lean back. It's not fun. So like my strategy is to just pass out as soon as I get settled into my seat and just wake up in my destination. But sometimes it's one of these little guys that doesn't shut up, and it really just puts a hole in that plan. And it really just makes me wish I could reenact this video. Now, what you just saw was an Indian ritual where a baby is held from the roof of a shrine or temple by a priest, kind of shook by their heads and legs while a prayer is said over them, and then they're dropped upwards of 50 feet onto a sheet below held by spectators with a huge cheering crowd, and they kind of bounce like they're from a trampoline. And this has been going on for hundreds of years, about 700 years according to Reuters.com. It's practiced by Hindu and Muslim people in India. And if you think it's bizarre that this still goes on today, it only is practiced in very remote parts of India. It's not every Indian baby is being dropped from temples. It's more rare nowadays, but it still does go on. And you might be asking yourself, why does this happen? It originates from a time in Indian history where infant mortality was very high, and there were very little medical technological advances at the time and really no health services to speak of. So babies were dying left and right, and they did not know what to do. So they figured that this ritual, saying this prayer and dropping them onto this sheet, would give them strength and prosperity in life and help them not die. And obviously, it's kind of crazy. So there's a lot of opposition to this baby dropping. The Karnataka Commission for the Protection of Children Rights was created in 2009 and began their investigation on the ritual to try to stop it, according to TimesFreePress.com. And they say that it is abusive levels of stress and fear on newborn infants and toddlers, that even though in the entire 700 years that this ritual has gone on, there has been no recorded injuries, they still worry for the unseen damage that it can have on the psyche and mental health of the children. And there's two sides to every argument, as you know. So the opposition has a lot of opposition. There's people that don't want to let this go. It's been going on for hundreds of years, and they can't say goodbye to it. And they argue that there are no recorded injuries, like I just told you, so there's no reason that it should be stopped, really. And that there's many worse rituals that are going on in the world today, and have gone on. Like, if you've ever seen the opening scene of 300 with all the babies or whatever, that was something like the Spartans did, where they inspected newborn infants for any weaknesses, deformities, or anything, and then if they had anything that would not make them strong enough to be a Spartan, they would just be tossed and killed. So, And then things like that still do go on today by tribes like in the Amazon and places like that. And also, if the government were to step in and ban this, people think that it would be cultural oppression. There's a lot of arguments for that, which is an entirely other controversy that comes up. And it's a very thin line where we don't know where we should step in to stop culture. Like there's lots of freedom of speech, freedom of religion, but obviously it gets to a point where things start harming other people and someone needs to step up and say something. Where that line begins, who's to say? No one knows. So it's still, this was in 2009 when the investigation began, and it still goes on to this day, so no one was ever able to put an end to it. Thank you.